I decided to totally destroy my craft room this weekend. I'm an idiot. 90% of it were people that didn't follow me. So, little craft room update for you. I decided to totally destroy my craft room this weekend. I wanted to change the desk the way the layout is in here. So here's what we got so far. And then this is all the mess that was left with the stuff that I took out. So I'm hoping to keep my glass unit, but I don't see that anything else will fit. I want to try to give myself more desk space and try to put all the storage underneath. So we're going to see how this works. Good morning and welcome to this week's studio vlog. It's me, Caroline, from Crafting with Glorious Purpose, where here we make unique gifts for you or for that someone special. If you're a regular follower, you will notice that the background behind me changed a little bit. And Friday decided that I was going to go to IKEA and pick up a desk so that we can reconfigure how the layout is in this room. After looking and searching and writing down measurements and, exhausting like what I can and can't do in this room based on the awkwardness. And I did a video on this and I will post it up here, but all I feel like is I move things off this desk because that's the only workspace I have. So that if I'm sewing, then I got to take everything that's sewing off so that I can work and do something else. And it just seems like I'm constantly trying to find somewhere to put things so that I can work on something else. Or once I've worked on it, I have nowhere to put the final product while I'm waiting. So I ended up going to IKEA and picking up another 78-foot table. So I have one here, which is designated as my work area for my 9 to 5, 8 to 5, whatever you want to call it. This is this part of the table, and then the other part of the 75 or 78 foot is basically a corner, so there's not much I can do. I can't sit there. It's always going to end up being the end of the table and kind of tucked into the wall. So I had a 4-foot here enjoying the sunlight, which I love, but this was the only workspace I had. And then I had a tall glass unit here and then a unit here, which I really liked the way that looked, but it wasn't functional because I didn't have any space. So in between I had a drawing table, wooden drawing table, which is another thing I really loved. It's my husband's. His grandfather made it for him for when he said he was going to art school and that he liked drawing. So he made him this beautiful drawing table, which we're not getting rid of. We're going to keep and maybe put into the other room. But it was awkward in the fact that the legs came out and you couldn't really, it had dead space behind it. And it wasn't really ideal for being a flat space. So I moved the 4-foot over there and then bought another 78 for here. So this goes all the way to the corner. And then I have my 4-foot on this side. And I'll give you a sneak peek of what it looks like. But yeah, I ended up getting more Alex units for underneath to put all the things that were up in the shelving under here. So let me give you a quick peek on what that actually looks like now. So here's what it looks like at the moment. So I have my work area for my 9 to 5. I've got my other long table here. I put some calyx under here, and then back in here is basically a dead corner. So what I did was I got some storage units and things and put them in the back there of things for, shows that I might not need, displays, things that are like for Christmas and things like that. So that way I don't have to worry about accessing it on the regular. But I left this one free floating. So if I needed to slide it to get back in there or put more things in, I can. For right now, those are probably not staying there, but they are for at the moment. They are empty. I ended up getting this taller one so that I could put my fusible ink and things in there. And then this unit that is up on top, this was actually next to the drawing table and actually a little tucked under it, if you remember. I picked that up and put that up on top of the table to try to give myself some more vertical storage to kind of mimic this other side because they are closer in size. So this one is actually pretty good. It's not as tall and it still give me room to put my paints at the top. I didn't change these much other than I put my raptor and my meerkat up there that I got for my birthday, which most of you are going to wonder what it is, but it's pretty much an inside joke about how I would love to have a pet raptor and a pet meerkat. So my husband and son got me a raptor. So I have a meerkat now riding a raptor. Weird, I know, but that's me. So this table here is my little 4-foot one that I moved from under the window. It takes my Alex rolling unit, fits perfect in there. And then I picked up one of these Alex units that just has the door and the shelving inside. And that worked out great to put all of my boxes that I made for my cardstock. So this gives me a nice desk to work on. So if I put something out and I'm working here, I have space over here and over here. I'm hoping that, and I'm still not sure about him at the moment, but I ran out of time and I needed a functional space for work today. So before I logged in, I figured I'd give you a quick show what it looks like. But I will kind of be working most of the drawers in this. I just put things in them just to get them away. But I'm not 100% sure. Like these ones will probably stay, but these ones I need to figure out what's going to go in them permanently and what their home will be. And then I have this unit stayed pretty much the same. I did take out some of the things that could go in the unit so that I can open up space to put other things in. So this one, I just kind of shoved things in at the moment, but I think what I might do is work on frosting the glass so that you can't see inside of it, because it's not going to look as pretty as my other unit was showing things. So that's where I'm at right now. And then this was my Mommy's Day gift. I got the Lego orchids, which turned out really cute. My hope was to put it up here on the shelf, but it's too tall. So I'm going to have to work on seeing what I can do to fix that. But overall, not too shabby for a weekend of me just totally destroying this room. If you saw the beginning footage, I barely had any room. I had units everywhere. But I did go through and purge some things too. So there's that. By purging things, I mean I went through with a little more of a critical eye. So I have a pile of things over here that I still need to kind of go through and find a home for. But overall, I think this is going to be the way that this stays. I really, like I said, I really like that bigger unit that I had because it had the drawers on the bottom, but it was just so bulky in here. It just made this room feel very small. And I feel it's a lot brighter in here too with moving some of that dark stuff out of here. I'm not a big fan of white wood at all. And this technically really isn't wood. It's, manufactured kind of, but I would love wooden tables and, the whole look of wood. But, it's so dark in this room because there's not very much lighting other than this one little window. So I had to go with the white to make it brighter. I'm black and dark, or like not dark woods, but like a warm woods and black kind of girl. So this is complete opposite of my aesthetic, but it is what I need to get the job done. So I am going to get ready to log into work here. And if I didn't say, this is the first week of June. So hopefully the weather starts to show that it's June because it is 40 degrees outside today. Hopefully going up into the 70s, but this weekend was flipping cold. Didn't get to do much, but I will insert, we did go and do an escape room and we made it out. It was actually really cool. It was Beetlejuice themed without saying Beetlejuice because of copyrights, but it was a whole like afterlife and it was really neat. There was a lot of fun stuff in there, but we got the book of the dead and we made it out of the room. So it was actually a lot of fun. It was 3 little rooms. You had to like solve to get into the next one, and it was a fun time. So we did that for my birthday weekend, and yeah, it was great. So I will check in with you at lunch what we're going to work on for the day. Good morning and welcome to Tuesday. So today we have a few minutes here, about a half an hour before work. The sun is out. It's going to be 80 today, which is amazing. Yesterday with the 40s, and yeah, it wasn't. So I started making my list and then realized, well, I started making it yesterday. I didn't get to finish it in the morning, but I also need to go through and replenish some of the stuff that's sold at my last event. Like, so my next show isn't until July 9th, but I don't want to lose sight of some of the things that I need to replenish. So I need to make a new Westie keychain. I have my little sublimation keychains. I sold out of the Westies, so I'm going to make maybe one, maybe two of those just to have them in stock. Nose art decals, I sold quite a few different dogs just because they were so difficult to weed. I only made one of each breed, so I will need to replenish those, and I need to repress a Bigfoot coaster so that I have that as well for in-person events, especially for the ones, since the ones coming up are not going to be dog shows. My next dog show is until September. Not saying that I'm not bringing them to events. I mean, I'm sure there's people that are going to be walking through that like dogs, but it's not only dog related. So I want to actually have some of the stuff that's not dog themed replenished in time. So I'm going to be bringing I need to make the Bigfoot coaster. I did press my Firefly collection wristlet. I think it turned out amazing. I ran out of bobbin thread, so I didn't get to finish it off, but there she be. Absolutely love it. Love how it turned out. So I had enough to make two, so I did. I ran out of thread doing the second swipe through. But yeah, absolutely love how this turned out. So I just need to finish the stitch on this one and then put my label on both and then add the hardware. But I wanted to test out the pattern and see how it looked. And the cool thing is you can actually see the blue. The blue looks really perfect. Like, I wanted it not to be black, but I also didn't want it bright blue. I wanted it to be like a dark blue night. And it's kind of given like that Starry Night kind of feel, like almost like you want to reach out and touch the fireflies. So have those ready. And since that pressed really nicely, I'm going to work on the bandanas. I think this afternoon I can send them to print while I'm at work, and then they'll be waiting for me at lunchtime so that I can press some dog bandanas and get a few of those made. I want to take advantage of the nice sunny weather so that I can do some photograph of the products. So I do have the shadow box. It's up here. I did find my acetate layer, so I can cut my fireflies out of my glow in the dark vinyl, which I did find that too during the reconfiguring in here. And then I can actually call that one checked off the list. The only things that are left then are the sticker and the window cling to cut. The window cling, I've been going back and forth. I'm not sure if I want to put the wording on there or just let it be a firefly. I think I might just let it be a firefly, so that way it's tied in with the collection, but it's not, it doesn't need to have the wording on it. I might just, I think I just might call it what it is, but not put the wording on, and see how that works. The Sweet Can Be collection got a lot of hits, a lot of looks. Nobody bought anything. So I don't know if it's, I don't know. So I'm going to try something different. And then the same with the sticker. I have that one roughed out. I just need to send it to Cricut and try cutting one and seeing if I like it. And then if I do, then I'm going to cut a bunch of them. And then it's just obviously promoting for the collection on Instagram. So that was my week this week. And yeah. So I'm going to start working on prepping. And I did find, and I don't know if other people do this too, but I hate to waste sublimation paper, especially when you're cutting something out and it doesn't take up the whole page. Like these are just like half pages. So I'll probably do like a coaster on one of these. I have some like different size ones, so I must have cut different things out, but this one's a long one. So I'm going to see which ones of these work best for what I need to print for the Bigfoot coasters and the Westie. Like I definitely can get 2 up of something on here. So I do have extra coasters left. Might take a peek and see if there's other things that I could print out to add to the list. But yeah, I have all these like half sheets, so I'm going to use these up. I found them, I put them aside this weekend when I was pulling stuff out, and I'm going to make sure that they get used up and they don't just get thrown away, because you still can sublimate on these. There's nothing wrong with that. And here's one for a bandana, which might come in handy today too. So yeah, that's what I'm going to end up doing, is printing, sublimating, and testing out some new stuff for this collection, and making sure that everything works smoothly. I did find one of my old business cards, the first ones I did. It's amazing. I had like nothing on these at all. There's like nothing. Come on. And then I had just the thank you on the back. So that iteration only had my Facebook account. That was before I got, you know, Instagram or any of the other socials. So that was pretty funny to find that. I don't even remember what box it was in, but it was when I was going through, I found it and I went, oh, that might be fun to hold on to, you know, down the line, and say, oh, here's the first business card I made. So I think that's what I'm going to end up doing, is jumping on here and sending some things to the printer and getting those ready to go, so that I can hit the ground running at lunchtime, since lunch goes so fast. So we'll catch you at lunch. Lunch break. It's actually cool because I can film from this angle now, and it's not the same angle because now I actually have a desk over here. I was able to this morning cut out the vinyl for the glow-in-the-dark fireflies. So these are cut. I also have the glowing part of the fireflies for the window cling. I cut the black for the window cling, and I have the contour shape for the actual window cling part. So I think I'm going to work on the window cling first. I was also able to print out my Westies, and I have Bigfoot printing right now while I heated up my lunch. So I'm going to work on weeding this, getting these ready, and then transferring these to the window clings so that I can see how those look. And then I'm going to look at how to weed this. So I peeled the outside of this off just to make sure that the cut went okay, and it did not weed easy. This is Caesar Glow in the Dark. And It doesn't seem that thick, but it doesn't seem like it went through the whole way. So this may be a bear. So I'm gonna leave that to last. But I'm looking forward to doing it. I just don't know how this is gonna go. So I'm going to grab my weeding pen here. And I'm going to working on these and hopefully have some time to work on pressing the keychain, getting that crossed off the list, as well as the coasters. So like I said, my Bigfoot is upstairs printing, and then I will work on cutting that next. So on to the weeding. Okay, this is too stinking cute. Oh my God, I love this. This turned out perfect. So I'm going to try this one on my window since I didn't really get the glow part completely centered in the box. There's a little bit of space, but that's why we test things. So you take the back off and then you're left with the cling. And then we're going to stick it on the window and see what it looks like. Alrighty, here we go. Look at that. Oop, got my finger stuck on there. So these just stick with static. I'm trying to get my bubble down. There we go. Look how cool that looks. Too bad the sun is kind of above me right now, but how cool. And then this portion's going to charge and then will glow later tonight when the sun goes down. So I'm hoping to show you guys what that'll look like, but you can kind of see where I'm off a little bit in my lining up, but I just wanted to kind of do a test, but this one will totally be mine. I'm ecstatic. How cute is that? And it matches my fabric. So you got the wristlet with the same fireflies. Like, yeah, this totally turned out cute. So on to the next. So had to go into the only room that does not have any windows, which is the bathroom next to my my room, and wanted to show you that. So that is it glowing with only a little bit of a charge from the sun coming through my window. I think these are going to turn out really neat. So excited to make these and hang them up and get some photos up. So today we are working on knocking off some stuff off our list. So it's a beautiful sunny day, which means hopefully I can get all this stuff taken care of so I can get some nice photos with, you know, the new collection and such. So what I did knock off my list was Bigfoot coasters are completed. I have the Westie pressed and assembled. I just need to print the backer card with the information on it so that we have that. Then I actually made, and I want to make more of the lights or window clings. So I have this one packaged. This one is ready to go. The only thing that I wanted to do was, and I have the other one upstairs charging. I want to do I want to see if I can make it happen, but a nice Instagram reel with a, you know, how it glows during the day with the sun and how it glows at night with the glow in the dark. So the kind of like a before and after. So I have the outside one, but I don't like the inside one, because the inside one I had to do it inside, which was putting it on a piece of acetate and hanging or going in the bathroom where there's no light in here. And it didn't film as well as I was hoping. So I kind of want to have one where it's kind of glowing on a window. So I have it here charging up, and I'm going to put it in on when the sun moves on the other side. And then hopefully when the sun goes down, I can get a good video. So there's that. But yeah, window clings, check, got that off my list. Those look great. I probably will make one more. I have another set here, or a piece of scrap left from cutting the other two that's just big enough to cut the black. So I'm going to cut another one just so that I have two on hand. And I do have enough scraps of the glow in the dark as well. As for the glow in the dark, I tried weeding the parts with the, I don't know if you can see the fireflies in there. It did not cut the whole way through this vinyl. I don't know what is going on with my Cricut, but it's really starting to get on my last nerves. I have a brand new blade in there, and I can't even see the lines. So like I weeded out this part the normal way and thought, well, once I get to the little dashed trails, I probably should reverse weed it so that it's easier to get. When I get to this side, I don't even see cut lines at all. Like there are no cut lines that I can see at all. They're there because I can see them on this side. I'm going to have to recut those, and I think I'm going to send it through twice just to make sure. But can't do the shadow box, so I'm kind of bummed. I gotta wait and get that taken care of. The wristlet for the firefly, all I need to do is refresh my bobbin, but to do that I also want to sew some dog bandanas, so I figured two birds, one stone, so I'm just going to hold off refilling that bobbin until I got these ready to go. So what I'm going to do, I did a test, and it was a perfect test except for the back. So I tried sandwiching the two together, and I thought since this was a thinner fabric that it would go through, and it, you know, it did not. But the first side supplemented perfectly. And this was one of my scrap pieces of poly that I had made a dog bandana out of. But yeah, this looks amazing. This side, not so much. It didn't get hot enough on where the seams were, and I kind of figured it would, but I was going to give it a shot anyway, because I wasn't going to use these ones. These ones are not perfect in my eyes, so I wanted to do ones with a little more weight, because these are kind of smushy, you know. But I did press, just to use the full sheet, I pressed one of the smalls and one of the mediums. And yeah, because I had the stitching already done, it did that right in here, if you can see that, because it didn't get a flat press. So now I know, but I thought that this turned out really, really good. So these are the two. They're absolutely perfect for me. So I am all systems go on the bandana. I am not putting any words on it. I'm going to, my thoughts were doing a yellow on the back and this on the front. So it would be a two-sided bandana. So this would be your medium once everything's stitched, but the medium coordinates perfectly with the glow. I guess I picked a perfect yellow. But yeah, so your bandana will be two-sided. So I have the yellows cut, and I have a little bit of the white cut. I need a couple more to match up, but these were my polys that I've been using for my wristlets and such. So I'm going to get these ready, send some sheets to print, and then I am ready to press these. I got my last couple here that I'm going to cut, so then I can work on pressing these hopefully at lunch. So that will take care of that. And then once I start sewing them, then that'll check off the wristlets, because then I just have to do the finished seam on this one, sew them together with my label, and then add the hardware. But the hardest part is done, which is, you know, the main, you know, sublimating, cutting, and all that good stuff. I do need to finish the shadow box, but I got to recut that vinyl. And then I'm hoping, let's see. Oh, at the events, I have a Rescue Mom and Dad window cling that I made. And for some reason, I guess I don't have it as a vinyl decal. And someone had asked for that when we were at Bark at the Park. And I was like, yeah, I don't have it, but I can make it. And she never did come back to my tent. So I think what I'm going to do is at least cut one each of the Rescue Mom and Rescue Dad decals for the cars, so that we have them. And that was one thing that I did add to my my list from the other day. And yeah, then everything's going to be vinyl from there on out. So I'll have the nose art decals to replenish, the shadow box I need to cut the vinyl for the fireflies, the Rescue Mom and Rescue Dad. Yeah, so once I get this sewing part done for the bandanas, which shouldn't take me long, we'll be well on our way to checking off our list. So I am going to, I think I have a couple minutes before having to log into work. I don't even know what time it is. Yeah, 3 minutes. Yay. All right, so I will catch you around lunchtime. I'm going to send a couple of these to the printer while I'm logging in and start my day at work, which I'm so excited to do. So here we are at lunchtime. I figured I'd spend a couple minutes and just tell you how much of an idiot I am. I spent 5 minutes, which will now cost me probably a good 20 minutes of work to redo because I'm an idiot. I thought I'd be all smart after I got my bobbin threaded, and I was like, oh, I'll just stitch these together, and I wanted to supplement them before I stitched them. So now I gotta seam rip these. I did 4 because I was like, oh, I can do this real quick. And then I was like, after I got done with the last one, I was like, oh no. No. So I got 5 done. I've gotten 1 seam ripped. I gotta take these all apart and then sublimate them, which I have the printout. Like, I'm an idiot. Like, yeah. So I'm gonna be sitting here seam ripping, which is not interesting at all. So unfortunately, my lunch is probably going to be spent me doing this and trying to hurry to see if I can get these sublimated in time. But I'm not going to get these stitched up like I wanted to, because I'm going to be sitting here seam ripping. So I might have to catch you tomorrow with assembling these and maybe doing some photos. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to have these done, seam ripped and ready to restitch a second time. So I am going to talk to you tomorrow. God, isn't it funny how like 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes of work just cost me like a lot of time. Like, I'm going to have to undo this. Not overly happy with Carolyn at the moment. So, all right. Well, we'll catch you tomorrow. Good morning and welcome to Thursday. So today we are checking stuff off the list. I got done the wristlets. They have the hardware on. They're all ready to go. So those turned out perfect. So I have 2 of those made. I have 1.5. I gotta put it together yet. Of the window clings with the glow in the dark. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 completed dog bandanas. So these are completely sewn and ready to photograph. So I'm excited. The sun is out. I'm hoping it stays out for lunchtime because I'm going to be logging in here. So I won't be able to take any photos, but at lunchtime I want to get these photographed. What I have is 1 extra small made. And then I have 2 of the smalls. And I have 1 of the medium. It's like a medium large. I mean, it fits. I mean, it fits a husky. Anything bigger than that is like huge. So unless your dog is like a Saint Bernard, I would think the extra large would work for that one. But I don't make any extra larges to take in person. It's just too much fabric and no one buys them. So I have them. I can make them. I just don't. The popular sizes are usually small and medium. So I have others cut. I just didn't supplement or make them yet in case they don't do well. Then I'm not stuck with inventory. So I'm going to take photos of these and then I can package them for the in-person shows. So I have a pretty good dent. I recut my fireflies on my last sheet of glow in the dark. So I'm finger crossing this works. So yeah, I've got 3 of the things done from my collection. I need to print and cut the sticker. And so I got that done. And fix the shadow box. And then I'm still mulling over whether I want to do a towel. I'm trying to think of a way that makes sense to have it, but to the same point, if I don't make one, I don't make one. I usually put a towel in every one of my collections, but maybe this time I don't. I don't know. So I'm gonna think about that one. And got the wristlets done. Yeah, so finishing the shadow box the shadow box and then cutting the stickers, and then I think I'm good with the collection for right now. And then I want to get it photographed and get some stuff up on the social media for it so that we can start promoting. I might just throw up a little teaser about the collection coming up and maybe doing my illustration and showing that. And then hopefully I can get the sticker cut real quick to photograph that while I'm doing this other stuff so that I can kind of do a real nice, true collection together. And yeah, it's turned out great. I'm actually really happy with how I've gotten things done. So the only things that I have left on my list, which will probably spill into tomorrow, will be cutting the vinyl for the Mom and Dad Rescue decals and the nose art decals, because I can sit them and let them cut and I don't have to be hands-on with them. And I can weed them watching TV, like they take no time at all. So that's my hope, is that I can save those for later, but they're not in dire need. Like I said, I just need them for my next show, which is until July. So I should be okay to let those hang over until next week. And then I did write down a reminder for me to add them to Square. My new, or not new, but my presses for my car coaster and my Westie, I need to update my Square for the in-person shows so that I have them in my stock and I'm able to sell them. So with that said, I am ready to log into work and I will catch you at lunch. It is lunchtime. I got the rescue decals cut. I assembled my last window cling. I also got some photographs taken. I would have filmed that, but I need my phone for that, so couldn't do that. And I haven't tried yet, but I believe that this weeded okay. So I think this is going to be where I concentrate my efforts this afternoon. I don't have much time left. This took longer than I thought. I had a hard time finding these so that I could cut them. And it was kind of hard with the sun. It was too bright, so I had to kind of diffuse the light. And so I'm going to have less time to actually work on things, but I do want to get these like trimmed up, ready to go. And then that'll probably be my lunch. I did cross off some other things on my list. I was able to add the new items, and I say new items, but they're replenished items back into Square. And I have 3 dogs that I need to make the nose decals for. So I need the Corgi, the Golden Retriever, and the Newfoundland. So I may actually get those set up so they can cut while I'm at work, because I can't use the Cricut anyway, so it's going to just sit there and do its thing. I can put them all up on one sheet because I have my 12 by 24 mat, so I can set them all up on there and just let it go. And they do take a little while because there's a lot of detail on those. And there was something else that I crossed off my list and I don't remember what it was. Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but I got a couple things done. Oh, sales tax. So when I went to the last market, it was in a different county and it had a different sales tax. So I changed my Square. So I needed to make sure I changed it back for when I have my show in July. I do obviously have plenty of time for that, but I will forget when that time comes and give everybody less sales tax because Allegheny is high. So I need to make sure that I had that switch back. So I went through and I did all the necessary stuff in Square and took care of that. So with that said, I'm going to eat my lunch and then jump right back onto work. And probably tomorrow, like I said, we'll probably finish up some of this last minute stuff, but I don't see it being a heavy day. Most of the stuff on the list can wait till next week. The only thing that I do want to get done is I need to put up some kind of teaser for my summer collection on Instagram. So I'm going to think about how I want to word that and get that going. Even if it's just a photo, which is the sneak peek saying, you know, new collection coming soon, real simple. I just want to get a reel out there. So probably going to work on that before I log in, but I will catch you tomorrow. Good morning and happy Friday. So today we are trying to struggle through the last day of work. This week has been rough at work, and I know that today's not going to be any better. It's kind of one of those days where you just want to like flip the table and just go, I quit, but I need it, so I can't. So yesterday I got one of these weeded, which was not as far as I was hoping, but I got the rescue dad one weeded. I have two of the mums and another dad weed, and I still have my shadow box glow in the dark to weed. I'm gonna hope that I can get that done today. Probably won't do that at lunch today because I'm gonna meet my husband for lunch. And I put out a teaser yesterday for the new collection. I got a couple new followers, which on Instagram, which is the one that I'm trying my hardest to build, and I just can't seem to get the followers that I get on Facebook. So, definitely a different algorithm, but also a different group of people that follow through Instagram. So I think for me, it feels like to get the followers is a little harder than it is on Facebook. Like people just scroll, and I think the short form content to hold the attention span, basically. So I did get a couple new followers, which I was pretty excited about. I was actually shocked. And the reel wasn't doing actually too bad. Better there than on Facebook, actually. I did notice that some of my things, like my mystery grab bags, I didn't get any sales from any of the mystery sale bags, but I had 200 or so views of that reel to date, and 90% of it were people that didn't follow me, which that was another thing I was kind of shocked about. Was normally it's, you know, the people that I know that follow me that will like my stuff and keep it going. They weren't the only people looking at it. So I am getting viewed, just got to get people over. So hopefully this collection will bring something that somebody would like to have. So I don't have anything else for today. I'm hoping that so tomorrow is Saturday. We have no plans other than kind of putting back the train wreck that is our house. We've been rebuilding our garden, but it's going to rain all weekend, so we can't do the next stage and get the raised beds in so that we can get dirt in them and start putting plants in. So we can't really do that. It is gloomy and rainy today. As you can see, it's pretty dark in here today. Usually the sun is in here at this point. So we're going to do that. We also have some things put away. I have furniture out in the main room from the craft room that I've redone. So I think I'm pretty set with the way things are, that I can maybe put them up on Facebook Marketplace or list them in our local group and see if any takers for those 2 big pieces of furniture. If not, then they'll probably go out to the curb. So yeah, it's just a bunch of little things that are just dumped in places they shouldn't be. So I think we might just take a weekend. Our June and July are filling up. So we don't have a lot of free weekends to do anything else. So I'm kind of glad I don't have any markets in June, because June is just filled to the brim. So I'm going to continue tidying up in here a little and try to maybe read these last couple things so I can get those checked off my list. But all in all, not too bad. I only have nose art decals to finish and my sticker for my collection left on my list. So those won't take me very long at all. And yeah, I'd like to get the shadow box kind of realized here and see if this layer will work. And there's thunder. So hope I don't lose power today, because work's going to be very interesting if it does. So I will talk to you guys later. I am going to be getting logged on here, and I hope that you guys have a fabulous weekend, and we will catch you next week, where we'll finish up hopefully our collection and get, teasers put out of the products. I'm looking to do each product as its own reel and then do a nice group of them. So trying my hardest to promote them and get them out there. So there's that. And next week I do have a surprise that I think some people might know about, that I might be able to be a part of. So I will share that next week, and hope to see you then. So give me a follow, give me a like, give me a comment, something, and help me out to get out to the masses. I would appreciate it. And we will see you next week.